If the reason we carry inventory is to maintain appropriate levels of customer service and keep production flowing, then the amount of inventory that is carried would be governed by the reasons for carrying that inventory. So let's look at some of the reasons why we would carry inventory.
Decoupling, separating one manufacturing or distributing process from another. Typically, in a manufacturing or distribution environment, inventory will be held between work centers to create independence. This means that each work center in the process will keep a small amount of inventory to ensure that there's no delay in the process. If a work center upstream has a delay for any reason, this will not impact on the next work center in the process. Cycle inventory is inventory that we purchase to take advantage of price discounts that we may receive. It can include special pricing for a set period only or a discount for buying in bulk.
Anticipation inventory is inventory that you plan for in advance to cover the demand for an event in the future. This could also be covering for a peak season, such as selling ice cream in the summer months. You want to ensure that you manufacture enough in advance to have stock available when it's needed. When inventory has been moved between distribution centers, it cannot be sold. This inventory is also known as goods in transit, and a business must plan the amount of time it takes to move inventory between distribution centers. Pipeline inventory is also inventory in transit between your warehouse and the customer.
Buffer or safety stock is inventory that a business will hold to protect against uncertainty of supply and demand. This uncertainty in supply could come about because of a breakdown in a vehicle, or a strike at the port, or any other unpredictable event. Such an event could, for example, be the grounding of a freighter ship. Safety stock is also in place to buffer against unexpected spikes in demand. Hedging inventory is created to protect against a possible future event or a disruption in supply, such as a labor strike at the factory or a major vendor shutdown, perhaps a prospective trade or government program change, or a similar situation. This is something that a business will be informed of and will know about in advance, and will prepare for by planning for additional inventory to compensate.
There are advantages and disadvantages to having a warehouse, but they serve important functions in housing the company's inventory. When planning the layout and location of a warehouse, there are many factors to consider. And this site selection needs to be mindful of security, since there are many risks associated to carrying inventory, such as the risk of theft, which can be combated by adding theft into warehouse policies, hardening the target, using security services and locks, and hiring the right people. It is also important to understand all the high-risk areas in the warehouse, such as doors, staging areas and loading docks, as well as receiving docks and delivery trucks. And of course, there are many security systems and measures that can be used: technology, surveillance systems, body checks, and so forth. Now, in order to move inventory, we need to have the right materials handling equipment, and there is so much to choose from. But when considering this equipment, we would consider things like properties of the goods to be handled, layout and characteristics of the building, the floor requirements, cost consideration, design of the warehouse, just to name a few. And then another important consideration is whether to use a logistics provider, a PL, to assist with handling and distributing your inventory. There are also many options of ERP software and hardware that can be used that can make this important task of inventory management easier. Warehousing, security, technology, distribution network selections, these are all crucial decisions that come into play when considering the company's most important asset of inventory.